So we now have an automatic slide going on, and we've populated our home page. If I just refresh this, let's press the home page, refresh the page, and this is what it looks like. We have some animation going on here. So for this slide, let me pull up my code. This is what I did. I made a slider component and also a data.js file. So for the data.js, I just put in my images, the links to my images, and exported them to this component. I made use of the use state and use effects, the use state to maintain the current states of my slider, then the use effect for the mounts and the cleanup of my slide. So this is the code for it. And I set the set interval to go to the next slide is 3 seconds. And so that's what makes the slide work. You can see after 3 seconds, it moves to the next slide. Now for this item here, the items here, let me go to the code. I made in my home page, I imported a library for the animation. That's the Framer Motion library. And I also used the context API I use the context API. So right now we have the product context. Look at it here. Use the use effect and fetched my API. That's the fake store API. I use the fetch method. Exported my product context and wrapped it in my main.js file. So here I imported my product provider and wrapping everything here in my products. I'm wrapping everything here in the product provider. So from here, what this means is that all my pages and components will have access to the product provider if I'm using it. So what I'll just do is come to my home page, and right here, we're now using the use context. So the use context is going to provide this product's context into every file that will need it. So you can see for here, I'm filtering because I just want to get this bar. I just want to get, like for this one, I just want to get all the men's products here. So come over here and I'm filtering the categories, which is named men's clothing. So I just want the men's clothing here. When I filtered it, I now got only the image for each filtered men. So I mapped it and got only the image. The same thing I did for the women. I did the same thing. However, for the women had more images, and I just wanted 4. Since we had only 4 images for the men, I wanted 4 images for the women. So what I did was, in addition to filtering the women's clothing, I also sliced it. So I used my .slice here. So I'm starting from the first image to the 4th image, so 0 to 4. Did the same thing, and did the same thing for the jewelry. Came over here and for my displaying it, returning it, rendering it to the window. Then over here, there's the motion.div. Now, for the motion to work, you have to attach it to an element or a HTML tag. So you just put your motion dots on whatever you want to animate. So here I want to animate this div. So I just put my motion.div and use the x-axis and the initial. So initially the images will be off the screen, then you animate it till it gets to X10 here, and duration, everything should last for 5 seconds. And here's my basic tailwind design. Oh, yeah, that I want, configuration I want on it. So this is basically the code for the home page, and that's why it works. So as you can see, it is also responsive. Also responsive. You can see works here and works here and it works here. So next up, I'm going to work on the men's page. I'll show you when it's done. Thank you.